Chapter 41. Are you fake? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Today, Jiang Nan could be said to be extremely honest. He was seriously listening to the lecture and doing the questions. Playing tricks in class. How was that possible? As the representative of the good students of the new era and the students' role model, there was only one thing in his heart. That was learning. Then, Jiang Nan tilted his head. Katrina, who was standing under the shade of a tree, was staring at the old man who was selling ice cream at the gate in a daze. Should he borrow a phone to call Night Legion Army? Katrina seemed to notice Jiang Nan's gaze and glared at him. Jiang Nan, Sigma. Well. Study. Study. After school in the evening, the students saw Katrina waiting for Jiang Nan at the school gate for a whole day. Oh my God! Wasn't her love too much, right? What kind of immortal love was this? Jiang Nan walked over and handed her a bottle of iced Coke and ice cream. Katrina looked at Jiang Nan suspiciously and took it. A mouthful of cola, a mouthful of ice cream, and the corner of her mouth were stained with white cream. She ate happily. Jiang Nan chuckled. He then took out his bicycle from the alternate dimension. Let's go. Katrina was stunned. Where are we going? To set up a stall. You are not allowed to go. I have been waiting for you for the whole day. Come home with me. Jiang Nan said confidently, how can that be? If I don't set up a stall, I will have no money to spend. How can I buy delicious food without money? Your identity is sensitive. You can't steal, can you? Katrina looked at the iced Coke and ice cream in her hands and hesitated. Then. I'll follow you. On the bicycle, Katrina sat sideways in the back seat. She held Jiang Nan by the waist with one hand and licked the ice cream. Jiang Nan smirked. Motherf ***, watch how I deal with you. When I reach the stall, I will have the final say. Jiang Nan had been waiting for this the entire day. Jiang City Night Market. The stall was laid out, and he sat on the small stool. Vigorous potion, detoxification small soybeans, and Reiki leek went out one after another. Katrina was stunned. People sold bracelets, clothes, antiques, pancakes, fruits, and the like. What were you selling? Mineral water, chives, soybeans. Could you really sell them? But what happened next shocked her worldview. 10,000 per bottle of mineral water. It was so expensive that it made one's hair stand on end. However, they were selling like crazy. The eyes of the people who rushed up to buy it were red, and they almost couldn't help but just grab them. Nan Shen. I've been waiting for you. I watched the live stream of the mall rescue the day before yesterday. Awesome. Too awesome. Brother Nan Shen. Add me on WeChat. Is there still vigorous potion? Give me 5 bottles. Where did you find this beauty again? She has blonde hair and blue eyes. I really like to do business with you. It's good for the eyes. As soon as Jiang Nan opened the stall, he became the most popular existence in the entire Jiang City night market. Katrina was dumbfounded. In such a short time, he had sold almost 1 million. When did money become so easy to earn? She did dirty work every day and almost died countless times. But he earns more than her in setting up a stall. Was Jiang Nan really just an ordinary high school student? Nan Shen. What are these leeks and soybeans for? New goods. Everyone also noticed the leek and the soybeans and became interested. If Farmer's 3 punches was so fierce, then these leeks and soybeans. Jiang Nan cleared his throat and said, the real Reiki leek. A man can't stand it when a woman eats it. A woman can't stand it when a man eats it. If both men and women eat it, the bed can't stand it. Invigorate the kidney and impotence. It let you regain your confidence. 1,000 per stick. 100,000 per bundle. When these words came out, everyone had a suspicious look on their faces. Was it reliable? Can it be more potent than other medicine? Nanshan's products are definitely of the highest quality. Do you want to improve your family status? Do you want to stop experiencing the embarrassment of failing to hand your homework to your wife? Reiki leak, you deserve to have it. Jiang Nan's tongue was like a spring, and that little advertisement was like a bomber crazily attacking. They were all tempted. F***ck. Give me a bundle. Whether or not I can take off at night depends on you. Can it fix your kidney? Give me one. As soon as they heard that it could nourish the kidney, it immediately sold out. In addition, he had Vigorous Potion's reputation in front of him. When Jiang Nan received the money, his hands were soft. Look at this again. Detoxification small soybeans. You deserve to have. It can cure fierce poison. Expelling poison to nourish your face will make you energetic for the whole day. Only 100 per piece. If you can't buy it, you will suffer a loss, let alone buy it. When everyone heard this, it was not expensive. How about we buy and try it? Jiang Nan was crazily selling his goods and was grinning from ear to ear. However, he suddenly felt a chill on his back, as if a poisonous snake was staring at him. He turned around and saw Katrina staring at him as if she would kill someone. Only then did she understand. This Reiki leak and detoxification small soybeans, weren't they all the side dishes that she ate yesterday? No wonder Jiang Nan didn't eat. He even kept asking her to eat vegetables. She thought of the circles that she couldn't control last night. Jiang Nan said that she was sleepwalking. Katrina even wanted to kill him. However, Jiang Nan raised his eyebrows and glared back. He was not afraid at all. Who told you to threaten me first? Even if you knew what I was doing, what could you do? Now that he was on the stall cloth, he can't compromise anymore. He will show how bold and tyrannical he was. Scared? It didn't exist. Just watch how I deal with you in a bit. With so many people around, Katrina resisted the urge to teach Jiang Nan a lesson until the night market was over. Katrina was furious. Don't you want to explain what happened yesterday? Jiang Nan was full of righteousness and faced her. What? I'm the one who did it. If you don't accept it, hit me. Katrina was furious, and her soft and boneless arm grabbed Jiang Nan's neck. It was extremely fast. However, Jiang Nan teleported behind her. It was still that familiar move. Invincible great choke hold. How could she not guard against it? When she was about to use her beast transformation ability. However, she was shocked. How could she not use it? Before she could react to the shock, she had already been locked down by Jiang Nan and could not move. He looked at the shock and anger on Katrina's pretty face. Jiang Nan was proud. Was this the pleasure of conquering? Let me wash your panty. Humph. Let your conscience restrain my breathing. Humph. Katrina struggled unwillingly. How could her ability fail? Jiang Nan was black iron rank. Why did he suddenly seem like a different person? Jiang Nan took out his phone from her and dialed Night Legion Army's number. Hello. Is this Sister Bobcat? I have subdued that blonde beauty. I'm at Jiang City's night market. Hurry up and send someone to capture her. Inside the military base. Bobcat was sitting in her office with her legs on the desk. There was a tablet in his hand, and on the tablet was a picture from the satellite. It was the scene where Jiang Nan had locked Katarina's throat while making a phone call. After letting Jiang Nan go, Night Legion Army sent people to monitor his movements. Ning stood behind Bobcat, looking at Jiang Nan in shock in the video. The poisonous snake that so many people failed to catch was taken care of by Jiang Nan. What was going on? She was a gold rank. Bobcat said lightly, N. I got it. Let her go. Jiang Nan, dot. WTF. No. She is with me. You can just capture her. Bobcat, N. I know. Let her go. Jiang Nan, dot. You guys were the King Fake Knight Legion Army. Chapter 42. Woman's Mouth is a Liar. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He tries every scheme he knows. Endure the humiliation. He even cheats. And it was not easy to get Katrina to the stall. He had used up the strength of 9 oxen and 2 tigers to subdue her. He had originally wanted to free himself from the sea of bitterness. In the end, Night Legion Army said that it was fine. There was no need to capture her. Let it go. Release her. Were you playing with me? Why were saying that you won't catch her? How am I gonna clean this up? Jiang Nan glanced at Katerina. Cold as the frost was written all over her pretty face. Would he still have a good fruit to eat if she was released? Just capture her back. She is so dangerous. It will be irresponsible to society and the people if you let her go. As a result, toot, 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 Sister Bobcat. Hello. Jiang Nan, dot. He could not help but swallow his saliva. Then, he grinned brightly. He did not dare to let go of Katrina. Instead, he reached out and rubbed her forehead. Does it still hurt? Aya. It's all my fault. Rubbing it will heal it, dot. Katrina was calm, let me go. I won't hit you. From Katrina's resentment value plus 1,000. Jiang Nan shivered, sister. Your words are very unconvincing. 1,000 resentment value. You were already exposed. Okay. Jiang Nan was also very helpless, the two of them couldn't keep wasting time on the stall cloth, right? But once they left the stall cloth, Jiang Nan was done for. You're so broad-minded. Just pretend that nothing happened. All right. Katrina smiled gently and said, okay. I'll be obedient. Let me go. From Katrina's resentment points plus 999. Jiang Nan. Dot. Sure enough. A woman's mouth was a liar. I'll treat you to roasted skewers, okay. From Katrina's resentment points plus 888. Jiang Nan's eyes lit up. There are fat cows, fat sheep, tripe, golden mushroom, chicken wings, hairy crab. From Katrina's resentment points plus 777. 666. 555, every time he said one, the resentment value would decrease a little. Not because of anything else. It was only because Katrina was hungry. Sure enough. There was nothing that could not be solved with a barbecue. If there was, then add another. I'll take you to buy clothes. Pick the most expensive one. Once this sentence was said, the resentment value stopped refreshing. Katrina pouted and said, it's a deal. Let go of me. You've hit me again. Jiang Nan blushed. He scratched his head awkwardly and tentatively let go of Katrina. As expected, she did not flip out. Instead, she said with a bit of excitement, where are we going to eat? Jiang Nan, dot. He had forgotten that this girl had not eaten for a day in order to watch at him. For the sake of you being so pitiful. Yes. Today, I'll bring you to have fun. Come with me. As he said that, Jiang Nan really went to play with Katrina. Pick the most expensive ones. Katerina changed her outfit to skinny jeans and a black vest. In addition to the purple fisherman's hat, she was already beautiful. In addition, Jiang Nan's handsome face almost touched the ceiling. They were the most beautiful couple on the street. No matter where they went, they would always attract passers-by to look back no matter where they went. Jiang Nan also took her to watch movies, got her hair and nails done. Finally, they went to the game hall to play for the whole night. Katrina was very curious about everything. She usually wandered around the dark world. This was something she had never experienced before. This night was special to her. Early next morning, Jiang Nan, who had not slept the whole night, went to school again. Katrina was still stubbornly guarding the school gate. The students looked at Jiang Nan with dark circles under his eyes. Then, they looked at Katrina. They all revealed obscure smiles and gave Jiang Nan a thumbs up. Alright, Nan Shen. You've done a lot tonight. Amazing, amazing. Are you on top, or is she on top? TSK, TSK, TSK. How F** King Lucky. F** CK. I'm so envious. The girls in the class were also discussing excitedly. They would look at Jiang Nan from time to time, and their faces were slightly red. This made Lu Chuanwu so envious that his teeth itched. However, Jiang Nan was too lazy to explain, so he fell asleep. Katrina stood under the shade of the tree. In fact, she did not know why Night Legion Army did not arrest her. Their member had also left. Was it because the burning blood reagent was used on Jiang Nan? This was good too. At 10 in the afternoon, she received a message on her phone. She gave Jiang Nan a complicated look and then left. By the time Jiang Nan woke up, it was already afternoon. He subconsciously looked out the window. Ha! Where's the beautiful blonde girl? Maybe it's too hot, and she went home early. Jiang Nan didn't care. When he returned home in the evening, he found that his house had been cleaned up. His cell phone was on the table. Jiang Nan was puzzled. He opened it and saw a message on WeChat. It was from the blonde beauty. The profile picture was a cute Pikachu. I'm leaving. Don't leave Jiang City for the time being. It's best if you seek Night Legion Army's protection. You have the burning blood reagent on you. The white shark will not let you off. Be careful. See you if we're fated. But you probably won't want to see me. Jiang Nan looked at his phone and was silent for 2 minutes. The message was sent at noon, and she might have been left at noon. Hey, hey, hey. You're the villain. Is it really okay to tell me the news directly? Jiang Nan burst into laughter. Katrina really uses the blonde beauty as her username. So he replied. Beauty. You've forgotten your panty in my house. Aren't you coming back to get it? On the train to Russia, Katrina was looking out of the window. Her phone vibrated gently. Her eyes lit up, and she quickly picked it up. Then, her face was filled with anger. For you. Point 3. 3, from Katrina's resentment value plus 888. Jiang Nan looked at the white panties hanging by the window and snickered. Nan Shen, don't participate in the white shark's actions against me. You will probably die a terrible death. Blonde beauty. I try my best. Nan Shen, Bula. TL note. Holding Babosha in his arms, taking a sip of vodka, and shouting Tula in his mouth, this is almost the standard for Soviet soldiers in World War II. To this day, in the annual Red Square military parade in Moscow, the Russian capital, we can also hear Russian soldiers shouting Tula, as if they were shocking. Blonde beauty, dot. Ula, that I. Hey, hey, hey. This Russian beauty's expression package was quite sick. Jiang Nan, who was lying on the bed, thought for a while. Night Legion Army definitely knew about his actions. They also knew about the reagent. If they did not catch Katrina, they would probably want to set up a long line and catch a big fish. Jiang Nan was furious when he thought of it. Were you using me as bait? Did you get my permission? Stupid bobcat. You don't even know how to take responsibility after seeing my body. Jiang Nan didn't care about the white shark or white bear. Tomorrow was the final exam. Let's get first place first. The long night. What should I do if I don't want to sleep? Jiang Nan looked at the toilet paper on the nightstand. He rummaged through the shelves and found the one he had treasured for a long time. English book. Can't sleep. Then study. Chapter 43. I don't know the first question. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Nan studies English late into the night. He felt refreshed the next day. He received a message from Zhong Yingxue and Xia Yao on WeChat. Yingxue, good luck Xiaonan on your exams. Don't forget to eat a ham sausage and 2 eggs before the exam. Replied, just wait for the exam result. Wolf Extinction asked, where is my candy? Jiang Nan rolled his eyes and sent her a picture of the Golden Age beauty pill. Wolf Extinction, is it sweet, oh. Nan Shen, guess. Wolf Extinction, ... Early morning. The students looked at the examination room they were assigned to and quickly check other people's examination room. After all, they have to do an emergency team formation. There was also the combat cooperation. Jiang Nan was not worried at all about the exam. This was the confidence of a top student. Someone asked, Nan Shen. Which exam room are you in? Jiang Nan. Room 3. What's wrong? What a coincidence. I am also in room 3. Is Nan Shen thirsty? I have black tea here. Fate. I am also in room 3. I will wrap up Nan Shen's lunch. Come, I will massage your shoulders. In a split second, there was a group of people beside Jiang Nan's desk, all of them looking very attentive. Jiang Nan looked kind, don't worry. We are classmates. Leave it to me. With Jiang Nan's words, they laughed even more happily. Jiang Nan's grades were famous for being good. He could be considered an outliner in martial spirits class 1. Li Xiang looked at Jiang Nan, who was surrounded and sneered in his heart. This time, he put in a lot of effort to study. It was to suppress Jiang Nan in cultural classes. After that, in Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins, he would teach him a lesson. I will let you be arrogant for a while longer. The first test will start soon. Jiang Nan was walking towards his own examination room. In the end, he met the big man, Wu Liang, in the corridor. He was wearing a red scarf, and 3 big words were written on the top. Fight. 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 After not seeing him for a few days, he actually put on glasses. It seemed that he had put a lot of effort into his studies. He put on his black dot-rimmed glasses. Not to mention, it really had an inner taste. How is it, big guy? Can you get in the top 3? Wu Liang pushed up his glasses with confidence. He patted his chest and said, Big brother. Don't worry. Everything is under control. Jiang Nan was stunned. So confident. Fine. As expected of the person, I fancy. Fine. I'll wait for your good news. I'll give you a big reward for being in the top 3. Jiang Nan punched Wu Liang in the chest and entered his own examination room. He was stunned to find that Tang Qianya was also in his own examination room. Jiang Nan smiled and greeted her. Under the stern gazes of the 2 examiners, the test began. Jiang Nan was frantically answering questions on his answer sheet. The 2B pencil was almost smoked. In less than 30 minutes, Jiang Nan had finished writing his essay. In front of the shocked eyes of all the students. He gets up and hands in the papers. There was no other way, he was just so confident. Arrogant. What an arrogant mother. The students in the examination room cursed in their hearts. Were you a human printing machine? The language test only takes less than 30 minutes. From Zhou Qiuyang's resentment points plus 666. From Wang Xian's resentment points plus 888. The list of resentment points crazily refreshed. Jiang Nan was satisfied. There was nothing wrong with it. This was the effect he wanted. He had to take advantage of this opportunity to earn a wave of resentment points. When he was about to leave the examination room, the supervising teacher said, "Where are you going? Go back and sit. During the exam, you are not allowed to leave the room in advance." Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan returns to his seat and enjoys the constant stream of resentment points. His heart was blooming with joy. He was bored and looked around, but he found a few small movements. Some of the students wrote a cheat sheet in the water bottle logo. There were also some on the pencil case, even those on hand. That was indeed a display of divine abilities. Jiang Nan also discovered that a great god had actually tapped the table with his fingers and used the Morse code to transmit the answer. 7 or 8 students listened attentively, calculated, and then madly wrote the answer. Jiang Nan was speechless when he saw this. If you have this ability, then you should just study. In order to help them walk the right path. Jiang Nan showed his willingness to contribute. For this kind of thing. Jiang Nan always does this without hesitation. Then, he tapped the table rhythmically with his fingers. The students were stunned. F***ck. Why did the sound become a bit dense? This rhythm. Maybe this is the answer to this question. After a full half an hour, someone inadvertently looked back. He saw Jiang Nan knocking on the table as well. He looked out of the window with a depressed look on his face. Then he looked at the question that he had answered half of. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. F***ck me. So what if you feel depressed? Why were you knocking on your table? Those students were going crazy. Jiang Nan looked at the crazily refreshing list of resentment points. Remember to study hard later. He inadvertently glanced and saw Tang Qianya sitting diagonally behind him. Her pretty face was filled with nervousness. Taking the opportunity when the supervising teacher turned around, her small hands moved under the table. She pulled up her short skirt slightly. As a result, Jiang Nan saw that pair of large white legs were filled with small black characters. After sneaking a glance, she began to answer the questions. Jiang Nan widened his eyes. This is good. This is great. 666, Little pink strawberry. It was even cuter than Pooh from before. TSK. This girl really had the heart of a young girl. Tang Qianya seemed to have noticed Jiang Nan's gaze. Her face was as red as a ripe apple as she stuck out her tongue at Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan hurriedly turned around. See no evil. See no evil. The second test was English. Naturally, Jiang Nan reviewed for nothing. He had already finished answering the test papers early. However, he did not hand in the papers in advance this time. He can't get out of the examination room anyway. At this moment, a cool breeze blew past. Jiang Nan found that a small crumpled note had been blown onto his desk. Okay. They had even used their wind ability to pass down the note. Talents. It really a talent. He watched as Wang Ping frantically winked at Jiang Nan. Jiang Nan opened the note and read what was written. Nan Shen, answer. Please. Jiang Nan picked up his pencil and wrote down all the answers on the small slip of paper. Then, he took advantage of the fact that the supervising teacher was not paying attention. A finger-flicking divine ability was used to transmit it back. When Wang Ping saw the full answer on the paper, he was so happy that he went crazy. He crazily wrote the answer on the answer sheet. He was confident and naturally could not forget his brothers. Under the cool breeze, this small note passed through the hands of one person after another. After the exam ended, Wang Ping and the others came over and massaged Jiang Nan's shoulders. Nan Shen is awesome. Haha. This time, I'm finally done. You are really Nan Shen. Jiang Nan laughed, of course. Of course. Wang Ping seemed to have thought of something. Right, Nan Shen, the answer was one less. You can't answer the last question. The person next to him also said, although I can't understand it, the last question looks really quite difficult. Jiang Nan smiled, no. I answered the last question. Wang Ping was puzzled, then why is there one less? Jiang Nan, I don't know the first question. Wang Ping, WTF. The first question. F***ck me. We all started with the first question. And yet you didn't answer the first question. From Wang Ping's resentment points plus 999. From Zhou Hong's resentment points plus 666. From Chapter 44. Everything under control. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the list of resentment points was crazily refreshing. Jiang Nan was puzzled. I was kind enough to pass you the answers. Why do you still blame me? Mom, this group of people was really strange. They don't know how to repay kindness at all. In the third test, which is math, Jiang Nan still answered with ease. He quickly finished answering the questions, and from time to time, he would look sideways and admire the little pink strawberry. No. It was to help the teachers supervise the students' examinations. After a while, Wang Ping, who was so anxious that his head was covered in sweat, had no more tricks. Although Jiang Nan cheated a little. But that was better than answering it himself. Wang Ping looked at the paper. He knows this question but didn't know how to answer it, so he had no choice. Jiang Nan opened the small note and looked at it. Oh. You've learned a lot. On the paper, it was impressively written 1.2.3. Even the question number was considerately marked. He watched Wang Ping wipe his sweat frantically. Jiang Nan could not bear it anymore. He picked up his pencil and wrote. Wang Ping, who had received Jiang Nan's reply, hurriedly opened it. He took a closer look and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The words on note. 1, 3 long and 1 short, choose the shortest. 2, 3 short and 1 long, choose the longest. 3, choose C if it is the longest. 4, believe in Nan Shen, it is an absolute guarantee pass. 5, not getting full marks is not human. Wang Ping widened his eyes and looked at Jiang Nan. F***ck me. This is a hidden poem. Or is it just a slip of the tongue? What I want is ABCDFG. Nan Shen, I will kneel down for you, please stop showing off, okay? The word written on the paper was simply blinding this daddy's dog eyes. He saw Jiang Nan's face filled with certainty. He secretly gave Wang Ping a thumbs up. From Wang Ping's resentment points plus 1000. From Wang Ping. Examination room number 2. Wu Yang sat in the middle of the classroom with a body as strong as a small mountain. His expression was ferocious as he stared fixedly at the question in front of him. It could be said that his sweat was pouring down like rain, and his veins were bulging. He looked at his answer sheet. It was just AF**king name. At the same time, a Wuling Hongguang Mini EV was parked outside the school. At this moment, inside the car was extremely lively. There were 7 or 8 bare-chested, fierce-looking men with a dragon tattoo on the shoulder and a tiger tattoo on the chest. At this moment, they were all staring at a laptop. The video on it was Wu Yang's test paper. The video was sent back in real time through the glasses worn by Wu Yang. The red scarf on his forehead was a high-frequency antenna. Even in school, it was not easy to use. This group of big men had anxious expressions on their faces as they crazily calculated test questions. A big bald man said, "Old Wang, hurry up and calculate. Brother Wu is waiting." The man was furious. "Damn. This question is too difficult. Didn't you graduate with a bachelor's degree? You can't do high school questions. F***ck. How many years has it been since I graduated? What the hell is that tan? Cos. My head is about to explode. Is this really a high school question? Can you do it? It's been an hour. He'll be handing in the papers later. I can't do it anymore. Hurry up and find external help. My son is a postdoctoral fellow, I will call him. Old Lou. Didn't your daughter teach high school mathematics? Hurry up and call her." The passers-by looked through the car window. The cars were full of fierce men. Their expressions changed, and they hurriedly left. Then they sighed. Alas! What's wrong with this world? Wu Yang, who was sitting in the classroom, gritted his teeth so hard that he almost broke them. There were only 3 minutes left before the papers needed to be handed. Listening to the shouts and curses coming from the headphones, Wu Yang's head was about to explode. His iron fist smashed fiercely on the desk. Bang! He immediately roared, "Hurry up!" The sudden loud noise and roar resounded through the entire quiet examination room. Even on the entire floor, it could be heard. The student next to him was so scared that he almost peed his pants. A mouthful of tea was sprayed all over the student's face in front of him. Classmate. Westlake Longjing. All of a sudden, everyone looked at Wu Yang. He immediately realized that something was wrong. Damn! He absolutely could not expose himself. If he was exposed, can he still be in the top 3? Then, he scratched his head and said with a troubled expression, I'm tired of answering it." The supervising teacher glanced at him and said calmly, "This student. Stay quiet." Another supervising teacher patted Wu Yang on the shoulder and comforted him, "It's okay. If you fail this time, there will be a next time." Wu Yang's loud roar was heard in the van outside the school. "Brother Wu! It's out! It's out! Hurry up and fill it out." At this moment, Wu Yang's eyes were wide open, and all the muscles in his body were like steel bars that were twisted together. He was writing wildly with his pencil, and his arms and wrists were writing madly. He finished writing the papers before the bell rang. Then, like the wind, he rushed out of the school building, climbed over the wall, and arrived outside the school. He opened the car door and rushed in. The Wuling Hongguang Mini EV shook violently. 3 minutes later, Wu Yang came out comfortably. Only the 7 or 8 men with bloody noses and swollen faces called, "Hey! Daughter, hurry up and come. Save your father. Hey! Son! Hurry up and come over. Father will rely on you today." Jiang Nan, who went to the toilet, met Wu Yang and asked with a smile, "How was the morning exam? Did it go well?" Wu Yang had a solemn expression as he patted his chest, "Don't worry, brother Nan. Everything is under control." "Oh. Sure. Haha." Jiang Nan was a little happy. It seemed that he studied for nothing. Wu Yang, can he do it? The people behind him answered questions for him. As for the results of his review, Wu Yang was sure of one thing. Brother Nan was right. His brain was indeed filled with muscles. A day of examination passed just like that. After school, Wu Yang and Jiang Nan were on their way home. He was in a good mood. Whether his test result was good or not, it was finally over. Wu Yang was quite confident. The cultural test was over. The next was naturally an actual combat assessment. Brother Nan. Tomorrow afternoon, we will go to Changbai Mountain. What kind of things do you need? I will help you get it. Jiang Nan was stunned. What is it? Only then did Wu Yang remember that Jiang Nan had never been to the spirit ruins before. He explained to him, the spirit beasts in the spirit ruins are extremely dangerous. So naturally, they are no different from us martial spirit warrior. Most of martial spirit warrior will choose a cold weapon for self-defense. It is much more convenient to kill spirit beasts or for self-defense. We will stay there for 15 days this time. It is estimated to be quite difficult. We have to prepare a lot of food and clothing. We have to bring some things for outdoor survival. Brother Nan, are you ready? You can bring a lot. I will help you with your backpack when the time comes. I have a lot of strength. Jiang Nan rolled his eyes, carrying my ass. I'm just a walking luggage bag. Have you forgotten what I can do? But I really haven't prepared anything yet. Wu Yang was stunned. Damn. Nanshen was a space system. How could he forget about this? With dimensional space, he could bring different things. Let's go to my place, Brother Nan. Take whatever you want. Wu Yang put his arm around Jiang Nan's shoulder and dragged him to his place. Jiang Nan smiled and said, I also have something for you. You will definitely like it. The group of girls who came home after school looked at the figure of Jiang Nan with Wu Yang arms wrapped around his shoulder, and their glasses lit up. See? I told you, right? Tisk, tsk, tsk. I'm blind. What a waste of a handsome guy. What are you blind for? Humph, humph. Watch me pull him back. Hee hee, Xiao Bei, you're going to make a move on Jiang Nan. If I don't make a move now, he'll be snatched away by someone else. Where am I going to find such a handsome big brother? Chapter 45. Triangle. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. He followed Wu Yang all the way to his so-called place. It was an abandoned warehouse that had been modified. It was not small, covering up 300 to 400 square meters. The moment he opened the roller shutter, Jiang Nan was really stunned. Piles of fitness equipment. There was no need to talk about sandbags or dumbbells. There was also an octagonal cage in the middle. The walls were filled with cold weapons. They are a different kind, like a kris, triangular army thorn, crossbow, and the like. There were also 8 heavily modified off-road vehicles parked in the garage. Raptor, Wrangler, Road Shaker, Hummer, and even Jiang Nan didn't recognize some of them. There were also all kinds of outdoor equipment, tents, searchlights, generators. At a glance, it was simply a paradise for men. Jiang Nan drooled when he saw it. Just ask which man of culture doesn't like these things. F***ck. Unfortunately, he had no culture. Wu Yang excitedly took 2 things from the side. A thick titanium alloy shield with a roaring bear head engraved on it. It was 2 meters tall, at least 300 kadi. And his other hand was holding a 2-meter long sword. That's a scary one. He said excitedly, Brother Nan. How is it? Do you think I'm awesome? Jiang Nan quickly shook his head and said, no, no. From Wu Yang's resentment points plus 666. No matter how you put it, you must be at least 500 kilograms, right? Is it convenient for you to move? Wu Yang raised the iron shield in his hand and pushed out gusts of strong wind. The sword slashes wildly, and the dull and heavy air sounds break through the air. It was as light as nothing in Wu Yang's hands. I practice with it every day. If I transform into a beast, it will be easier. Jiang Nan nodded in satisfaction. He really picked up a treasure. A big shield warrior. A mobile fortress. An invincible thick blood tank. Wu Liang seemed to have suddenly thought of something. He threw the iron shield and saber aside and took out another iron spear. The red tassels of the spearhead fluttered, and the tip of the spear shone with a cold light. Brother Nan, look. How about this one? Is it convenient to use? Jiang Nan took the spear, turned around, and slashed down. The spear tip cut through the air, letting out an ear-piercing scream. Crack. The spear had even cracked the concrete floor. Wu Liang was excited to see this. Look at this action. It was really pleasing to the eye. Jiang Nan shook his head and said, I don't want to use this stuff. I pick and choose by myself. Wu Liang was stunned. Didn't Jiang Nan practice spear art? In the last street fight they had, he knocked himself out with a street lamp. That technique was definitely at the level of a grandmaster. He definitely wouldn't have this ability if he did not train it from a young age. In the end, he said he wouldn't use this stuff. Jiang Nan looked around, then took the triangular army thorn from the shelf and placed it on his waist. Triggered skill. Dagger. Level 0. Adding skill points. 100, skill leveled up. Dagger, proficient, LV, 0. Jiang Nan instantly pulled out the triangular army thorn from the leather cover. It spun around in his hand and stabbed forward, then backhand stab. The dagger flipped and jumped on Jiang Nan's hand like a dancing fairy. There was no extra movement. Pure and sharp. Wu Liang looked at Jiang Nan, who had used the triangular army thorn, and his eyes almost popped out. He was also a dagger expert. Why was he so sick? Did you start practicing since you were in your mother's womb? Jiang Nan retracted the dagger with satisfaction. Then, he saw a tang knife with a sheath on the wooden frame. The knife was 1.2 meters long, and there was a strong breath of time on it. However, it didn't seem old. The instant he drew this knife, a sharp cold light was revealed. The blade was straight, and there was a 1,000-layered blade pattern on it. An ancient word, cold, was engraved on the blade's hilt. The cold light was oppressive, and the hairs on the blade were cut off. Triggered skill. Knife. Level 0. Adding skill points. 100, skill leveled up. Knife, proficient, level 0. Clang. The cold knife came out of its sheath, the blade cut through the air, and a gorgeous knife art bloomed. Jiang Nan looked at the straight blade, and his eyes were filled with satisfaction. Wu Liang opened his mouth wide. His face was full of disbelief. The spear could be played, the dagger could be played, and the fucking tang knife could also be played. Were you proficient in everything? They are both human, so why were you so good? Jiang Nan patted Wu Liang on the shoulder and smiled, when you have time in the summer vacation, I will teach you how to play with the knife. Wu Liang. Damn. What else can I say? It seems that Nan Shen was not called for nothing. What did you say about this tang knife? It was taken back by my father from the countryside. It was passed down in ancient times. A real weapon. The craftsmanship has been lost. If Brother Nan likes it, I'll give it to you. Jiang Nan was naturally not polite. He still had a certain understanding of his future. Space ability, strong maneuverability, main control field, using that kind of long weapon was too much of a hindrance. It was good to use a tang knife as the primary weapon, and as for his secondary weapon, he would use triangular army thorn, so he would not be at a disadvantage in close-range combat. I also have a treasure to give you. As he spoke, he waved mysteriously at Wu Liang. Wu Liang moved closer with a face full of anticipation. He saw Jiang Nan take out a pair of underpants from the alternate dimension. A 4-horned underpants with elephants printed on them. Wu Liang. This was the treasure that Jiang Nan had mentioned. Since when could underpants be considered a treasure? He Did he like to give people underpants so much? Last time, he gave me a blue-white one, and this time. Jiang Nan saw Wu Yang was stunned and could not help but raise his eyebrows. What? You don't like it? Wu Yang scratched his head. It's not about whether I like it or not. Jiang Nan, let me tell you. Don't look down on it. It is not an ordinary underpants. If the underpants have a ranking, it is the king of underpants. Wu Yang. Hulk, do you know? No matter how you transform, these underpants won't break. Jiang Nan pulled on both sides of his underpants and pulled hard. He pulled it up to a meter long and let go. It instantly returned to normal. Wu Yang's eye instantly lit up. Damn! This was simply a divine artifact. As long as he wore these Hulk pants, he would no longer have to worry about his beast transformation becoming completely naked. This was a blessing to all of the beast transformation system's martial spirit warrior. The king of underpants. It's him. I would like to call these underpants the strongest. Wu Yang gave him a thumbs up, awesome. Good stuff. Then, he said a little embarrassedly, Brother Nan. Do you have triangle Hulk pants? The air suddenly became deathly silent. Jiang Nan's eyes gradually became a little frightened. No. Brother Nan. It's not what you think. The triangle is very comfortable. It's definitely the feeling that the four corners can't give you. If you don't believe it, go home and try it. Jiang Nan shook his head like a rattle-drum. He directly took out 10 triangular underpants from the alternate dimension for Wu Yang. There were ice threads, leopard patterns, lace, shape, and all kinds of styles. Wu Yang gratefully accepted it, wishing he could give it a try right now. In the end, he was firmly held back by Jiang Nan. Brother. Don't. Please don't. Don't leave any mental corruption in my memory. I really can't take it. Chapter 46. Love Letter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Nan looked at the equipment in the warehouse, and his eyes lit up. He laughed and said, Great. Great. Wu Yang scratched his head and looked puzzled. What do you mean? Jiang Nan stayed in the warehouse until 2 o'clock at night before he returned home. Lying on the bed, Jiang Nan thought for a while and dialed Night Legion Army's number. Ring, ring, oh. Who is it? The lazy voice had a hint of complaint. It made Jiang Nan shiver violently. Wow. Like a kitten that had been woken up, her eyes were blurry. Wasn't it a little too cute? Sister Bobcat. I am Jiang Nan. I will go to Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins tomorrow. I will be out for 15 days. You. Toot 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 F***ck. Hanging up on me again. Jiang Nan gritted his teeth in hatred. Do you have to be so cold? Bobcat, just you wait. Sooner or later, I will make you an obedient little kitten. Jiang Nan, who was lying on the bed, was perturbed. What was going on? Night Legion Army did not take him seriously at all. What if White Shark took this opportunity to attack him? Sorrow. However, he had no choice but to go to the Spirit Ruins. F***ck. What's there to be afraid of? If it really doesn't work, I'll just lay it out the stall cloth on the ground. Whoever wants to do it, I'll take them down one by one. Bobcat, who was lying on the bed, hung up Jiang Nan's phone. She rubbed his sleepy eyes and dialed another number. How are the arrangements? Captain, the people have been arranged in place. Where are the people from White Shark? We haven't found any signs at the border yet. They still can endure it. If there is any movement, report to me immediately. Yes. Captain. Bobcat, who had been woken up, was no longer sleepy. She came to the bedside with only a white shirt all over her body. Looking at the bright moon, she muttered, I hope this time, I didn't see the wrong person. The following day, Jiang Nan came to the school in high spirits. Seeing that many of the students were carrying huge hiking backpacks and their faces were full of excitement. They were prepared for Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins. When Jiang Nan came to the classroom, the students were all stunned. He only carried a small satchel. There was only a charger and 3 power banks inside. It's over. Jiang Nan is done for. With this equipment, when he goes to the spirit ruins, he will eat tree bark and grass. Does he really think he was going on a vacation? Li Xiang smiled and said, don't say that. After all, Nanshan has never been there before. It's understandable. Lu Chuanwu, haha. If you hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten. Nanshan is still a virgin. Li Mayan sneered, Jiang Nan, if you can't hold on, then give up. No one will laugh at you. Jiang Nan smiled brightly, can't hold on. I can hold on for a long time. You should know me the best. Li Mayan's face turned red, and she couldn't say half a sentence when she stared at his beautiful eyes. The class suddenly fell silent. Were they in such a relationship? Sister Yen was awesome. TSK, 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 what a mess. From Li Mayan's resentment point plus 999. Jiang Nan, who had returned to his seat, was stunned. There was breakfast on his table. There was also an envelope under the soybean milk bottle, with a lipstick mark and a pink heart. Was this a love letter? Jiang Nan was a little excited. When had he become so popular? He had just sat down. Crash. A pile of envelopes fell out of his desk. Some were folded into paper cranes, some used their own photos. Among them, there was a girl who had folded a green paper into a little toad. Hey, 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 hey. Miss, are you serious? Forget it if you don't know how to fold paper cranes. Just use an envelope normally. Who would fold a frog to confess? You deserve to be single. The more spiritual one was written with 521 yuan. Jiang Nan liked it. Love. Girls online dating. The kind that used red packets to confess. The classmates who were watching were all envious, and their eyes were red. Was there any justice in this world? So many love letters. Why can't you share some with us? The list of resentment points refreshed crazily. Jiang Nan was happy, and he was very grateful to these girls who liked him. Business opportunity. Hence, he took out his phone and took a selfie. He posted on Weibo. From the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Nan Shen. What if there are too many love letters and I can't read them? Shall we chat on WeChat? Picture, the picture was Jiang Nan's selfie. In the photo, he was smiling brightly. On the table was a mountain of love letters. The other picture was the QR code of Jiang Nan's WeChat. With more than 100,000 followers, that's pretty scary. It didn't take long for the comments section to explode. Ing Shui. ... Solitary moonlight wolf. Pew. You shameless heartless bastard. Didn't you say that you wanted to hug my tight? ... Xiao Yu. Already added. Xiao Tang Tang. Are you going to drink that soy milk? If you don't, give it to me. Such a handsome little brother. Just ask if you are missing a spare tire. There were quite a few anti-fans. Do you have some face? Save some paper resources for the country. What? You don't want to set up a stall? Have you transferred to a WeChat business? Reiki Leak and Vigorous Potion. Let me tell you a secret. Reiki Leak plus Vigorous Potion equal to a human pile driver. Damn. I want to try. Jiang Nan was so happy that he posted a Weibo. It caused tons of damage to the single dogs. The list of resentment points directly exploded. As expected, he had the face to win. The students looked at Jiang Nan's Weibo and gritted their teeth in hatred. Motherf asterisk Ker. The teacher came in soon, and the students also became slightly nervous. Because the big screen immediately announced the results of the exam. Li Xiang clenched his fists tightly. This time, he was quite confident. His academic performance should be above Jiang Nan, and in the Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins, he would beat him again. Let him know why your brother Xiang is so tough. Then, the results came out. First in the academic year. Jiang Nan. Total score. 696, second. Li Xiang. Total score. 695.5, third. Wu Yang. Total score. 666, fourth. Zhou Qiuyang. Total score. 665, fifth. Li Xiang opened his eyes wide and almost gasped for breath. He directly fainted. F asterisk asterisk king 0.5. Just 0.5. I hired 8 tutors to study crazily and not sleep just to surpass Jiang Nan. And the result? Bullsh asterisk T. His face was slapped. Jiang Nan said in a low voice, Aya. That was really close enough. It's only such a small amount. If I had known earlier, I would have checked it more. It was a ruthless mockery from a top student. He was so confident. He was so arrogant. The students were all furious. Why are you being so cheap? Stop showing off, it hurts my heart. Of course, Jiang Nan would not let go of such a good opportunity to earn resentment points. He looked at the crazily refreshing list of resentment points. Everything was worth it. Bang! At this moment, there was a loud bang from Martial Spirits Class 2. The table seemed to have been smashed. Wu Yang roared, F asterisk CK. I'm third. Who the F asterisk CK surpasses me? Jiang Nan, dot. Teacher, dot. Students, dot. Chapter 47. Sugared Milk Tea. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Nan was quite happy for Wu Yang. It seemed that Wu Yang, in control, was not in vain. Of course, he did not know how Wu Yang controlled it. Looking at the screen, Jiang Nan took a photo and sent it to Zhongning Xue and Xiaoyao. He added, hurry up and praise me. Chapter 48. Heaven Lake's Night Market. You are listening at novelfull.audio. However, they were not going to enter the Spirit Ruins immediately. It was already late today. The final assessment would officially begin tomorrow morning. Before that, they had to enter the hotel below Heaven Lake. Yuan Second High School and Jiangbei High School's martial spirit class students already arrive at noon. Looking at Jiang Nan and his group of Jiang City First High School students, it could be said that they were full of hostility. There was already a spark of competition between each other. Wu Yang also followed and the 3-man team officially gathered. In the evening while eating, the teacher began to explain the rules and things to take note of on a podium. The other students had already participated more than once, so there was no need to listen. However, Jiang Nan listened carefully. This time, the joint training examination of the 3 schools will be held for 15 days. The results will be determined by the total number of spiritual bead collected by each team. Drones will record the entire process. Once you are found cheating, you will be disqualified immediately. We will distribute the satellite positioning bracelets to all students later. Once the supervising teachers determine that they have lost their mobility due to injury, they will be taken away from the Spirit Ruins by the staff. If there is an emergency, a life or death crisis, or if you want to give up the competition, you can press the satellite bracelet. This means that you will lose the qualification to compete. Please consider it carefully. The teacher was still talking about the rules above. However, Jiang Nan chuckled, there doesn't seem to be a rule that says we can't rob others, right? Tang Qinya was speechless. What kind of contestant was Jiang Nan? He hadn't even started yet, and he was already thinking of snatching someone else's. She couldn't help but be a little worried about her trip to the spirit ruins. As expected of a veteran who had participated a few times, Wu Liang explained, not only can you snatch it, you can also form a team with other teams. As long as you don't go too far, no one will say anything. Jiang Nan's eyes flickered. This rule was very interesting. Competition, victory, an unscrupulous collection of spiritual beads. In addition to the addition of the other two schools. Jiang Nan could imagine just how chaotic the spirit ruins would be. However, Jiang Nan liked it. Although Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins was evaluated as bronze-grade spirit ruins, it was not as if there were no silver or gold-rank spirit beasts in the depths. Be careful. For the sake of your own safety. Don't enter the depths. Alright, free activity. Gather at 6 tomorrow morning. Upon hearing that it was free activity, the students immediately took action. Some started discussing the strategies for the spirit ruins. Some of them started to study the habits of spirit beasts. As for Li Xiang, he couldn't help but sneer as he looked at this group of noisy students. When Li Mayan came, Lu Chuanwu and the others headed towards the bottom of Heaven Lake. There were many people from society or people who had just come out of the spirit ruins. It formed a relatively large-scale night market. Ling Feng was a little confused and couldn't help but ask, Brother Xiang. What are we going to do? Li Xiang, of course we are going to get a map of Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins. Those people are holding the goods. Lu Chuanwu chuckled, Brother Xiang is indeed Brother Xiang. With the map, our advantage is not just a little bit. Li Mayan also smiled, Brother Xiang is indeed far-sighted. A smug look appeared on Li Xiang's face, come with me. In the hotel's lobby, Tang Qinya said excitedly, let's also study a strategy. Jiang Nan, why study that thing? Come with your brother Nan, and you won't have any problem. I'll show you how to fly. Let's go and walk around. I wonder if there are any scallion pancakes in the night market here. Jiang Nan had already set his eyes on Heaven Lake's night market. As a qualified stall owner. Where there was a night market, there was Jiang Nan. Tang Qinya. Scallion pancakes. Hey, hey, hey. We'll be entering the spirit ruins tomorrow. Can you feel a little nervous? Why did she feel like she was on vacation when she followed Jiang Nan? She couldn't help but look at Wu Liang for help. Wu Liang, what's wrong? Do you want to eat scallion pancakes too? Tang Qinya. I'll eat. Heaven Lake's mouth was a night market. Jiang Nan and the other two casually swayed around. The night market here was completely different from what Jiang Nan had imagined. Peak bronze rank black tiger whip. 200,000 yuan for one. Pay the full amount and get 2 tiger treasures. A divine artifact that can strengthen one's kidneys and strengthen one's yang. Large forest complete map. Spirit beast activity area map. Safe zone record point. 300,000 for one. No bargaining. Bronze rank red face baboon spiritual bead with a roar spirit skill for 3 million, no bargaining. Selling attribute spiritual bead. All 5 elements. Come quickly. All vendors in Heaven Lake's night market were selling like this. There was also price frighteningly high. Once it was out of Heaven Lake, it would be difficult to get this thing. That was why the night market had been formed. Jiang Nan had a look of novelty on his face, only looking at it but not buying. It wasn't because he didn't like it. It was only because he was King poor. But it was really lively. It was so lively that he wanted to immediately set up a stall and sell vigorous potion. On the other side, Li Xiang was arguing with a bald young man with a red face. At this moment, they were arguing about a hand-drawn and crude map. I'll take it for 300,000. The bald young man, you're thinking of eating my ass. 500,000. I won't sell it for a penny less. Behind him stood two young ladies. Lu Chuanwu and the others also began to bargain. But the bald young man refused to give up a single cent. Li Xiang, give in. Be a friend. It's not like we won't have a chance to cooperate in the future. The bald young man said, you are very insincere. Li Xiang was a little hesitant. Although his family was rich, it was a little too expensive to take out 500,000 yuan to buy a map. At this moment, the eyes of the little sister behind him lit up. She hurriedly said, Jing Jing. Look at that handsome short-haired guy. Su Jingru looked over, Ayaya. Why is he here? Zheng Wei. Look. The bald young man who was bargaining with Li Xiang saw this and his eyes instantly lit up. Li Xiang's face was full of pain. How about 350,000? But Zheng Wei completely ignored him and shouted, brother. Here. Here. Li Xiang was ruthless, 400. No more. Zheng Wei looked impatient, stop wasting my time. I don't have time to deal with you now. Li Xiang. Jiang Nan was stunned and looked back. This shiny bald head. Zheng Wei. Why was this kid setting up a stall here? He smiled and greeted, what's wrong? Have you changed professions? Zheng Wei was full of smiles, in setting up a street stall. Nan Shen, you are my senior. Haha. Su Jingru complained, you didn't reply to me when I was chatting with you on WeChat. You said you would teach me flying bricks. Yuan Yuhan laughed, Jing Jing talks about you every day. Li Xiang was stunned when he heard that. Nan Shen. Why was this name so familiar? Looking back, if not for Jiang Nan, who else could it be? Did they know each other? Hadn't Jiang Nan never entered the spirit ruins before? The team that set up this stall was obviously an old timer in Heaven Lake spirit ruins. How could Jiang Nan know them? Jiang Nan glanced at Li Xiang's team and smiled, I won't delay you. Do your business first. Zheng Wei waved his hand, don't worry about it. These guys stubbornly wanted to reduce the price. Li Xiang was furious and glared at Jiang Nan, F***CK 500 is 500. I want it. Chapter 49. Top secret file. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Zheng Wei hears this, how could he not be happy? How could he not want the fat meat that was delivered to his mouth? At this time, Li Xiang had transferred the money through WeChat, paid the money with one hand, and accept the goods with the other. Although Li Xiang had a pained expression on his face. However, his gaze towards Jiang Nan was filled with contempt. TSK. A bunch of paupers. Can you afford it? Lu Chuanwu chimed in from the side, Brother Xiang is a great person. With the map this time, it will be much easier to enter the spirit ruins. Ling Feng and Li Mayan also had smiles on their faces. On the other hand, Zheng Wei ignored Li Xiang. Instead, he warmly came up and hugged Jiang Nan's shoulders. What's wrong, Nan Shen? Why are you here? Jiang Nan smiled and said, isn't it for the final exam? As soon as this was said, Zheng Wei and the two little sisters looked terrified. Are you really a high school student? Jiang Nan rolled his eyes, I said I belong to the Centaur Galaxy, but you don't believe me either. From Zheng Wei's resentment points plus 666. From Su Jingrou's resentment points plus 333. From. Zheng Wei seemed to have thought of something and took out a notebook from his backpack. Nan Shen, you can keep this. This is all the information that our team has collected from Heaven Lake Spirit Ruins. There are records of the upper, middle, and lower paths. The safe zone, the gathering point of spirit beasts, species, habits, and supply point. You will definitely be able to use them. Zheng Wei flipped open his notebook. It was densely packed and very clearly. He had even drawn a detailed map. He had already memorized the entire book. Li Xiang and the others were stunned. They then looked at the map they had bought with 500,000 yuan in their hands. This was just a few pictures and a few words. There was simply no comparison. This was equivalent to one being detailed and the other being crude. He would spend money to buy it. He even spent 500,000. In the end, he gave it to Jiang Nan for free. Why? Jiang Nan declined. This is not good, is it? Zheng Wei looked serious. No. You have to take it. If you don't take it, you are looking down on me, Zheng Wei. Su Jingru laughed. Nan Shen, just take it. If not for you, our team wouldn't have gained so much. Jiang Nan looked at Zheng Wei's big bald head with a look of understanding. Then I'll take it. Li Xiang was annoyed and said angrily, why did you give them such detailed information? You gave us this thing to deal with. I spent money. I also want this. Zheng Wei looked at Li Xiang as if he was looking at a fool. You pay 500,000 yuan. No matter where you go to inquire, this is the price for this map. As for this, I won't sell it. Li Xiang pointed at Jiang Nan, then what right do you have to give it to him? Zheng Wei raised his eyebrows, what do you have to do with it? He is Nan Shen. Who do you think you are? This person is so annoying. Li Xiang was so angry that he gritted his teeth. This. There was no way to reason at all. Jiang Nan cleared his throat and handed over the notebook in his hand. Why don't you give me 500,000 yuan, and I'll sell this to you, Noel and Li Xiang, F***ck me. You really know how to do business. From Li Xiang's resentment point plus 1,000. Whether it was Li Xiang or Lu Chuanwu, their expressions were as ugly as if they had eaten shit. He said angrily, don't think that just because you have a map, you can take advantage of the situation inside. We'll wait and see. As he spoke, he left with his group. Because he really could not stay any longer, he had lost all face. Zheng Wei chuckled, how is it, Nan Shen? Are you satisfied? Then the vigorous potion. Jiang Nan was generous. He took out a bucket of water from the alternate dimension and threw it on the stall. Sure. If you need more, contact me on WeChat. Zheng Wei laughed, okay. Tang Qianya looked at Jiang Nan with a face full of admiration on the way back. Going to the night market for a stroll resulting in a map of the spirit ruins. Wasn't Jiang Nan's face too broad? This kind of mature charm was simply irresistible for a young girl of her age. Wu Liang was not surprised because he knew that Jiang Nan's ability was far more than this. The next morning, the 3 high school students gathered below Heaven Lake. About 1,500 people stood according to their respective teams. At this moment, all the students were wearing a satellite bracelet in their hands. They were passing the inspection one by one. And Jiang Nan's team had become the focus of everyone's attention. Because all the teams were carrying huge hiking hills. Only Jiang Nan's team seemed to be on vacation. They didn't bring anything, and Jiang Nan was even listening to songs. What? Are they here to give up? Are they really here to participate in the competition? Isn't Jiang City first high school student too useless? Is there such a player? What are they going to eat? What are they going to drink? Where do they sleep in? Wow! That little brother with a buzz cut is so handsome. I want to ask his WeChat. Oh my God! His good looks have pierced through my heart. I believe in love at first sight today. There was also a bold girl who shouted directly, little brother. Come with me in the spirit ruins. I will raise you. In the end, Jiang Nan was met with the murderous gaze of all the single dogs present. The list of resentment points refreshed to the point of flying. Heh! Mortal! Raise me! Do you have a big white leg? Do you have red banknotes? Would you use a small amount of money to fold a frog? After waiting for half an hour, it was finally Jiang Nan and the others' turn to be checked. Jiang Nan took out his ID card and swiped it. Beep beep. No such person found. The fully armed soldiers next to him instantly stared at Jiang Nan with their hawk-like eyes. Again. Beep beep. No such person found. Not only was Jiang Nan stunned, Wu Liang and Tang Qianya were also stunned. What was the situation? Others people swipe it to display the martial spirit warrior's information, abilities, and levels. Everyone who entered the spirit ruins had to verify their identity. In a split second, 3 heavily armed soldiers raised their guns and pointed them at Jiang Nan. Who are you? Jiang Nan raised his hand helplessly. Recheck it. I have no problem with it. My classmates can prove it. In an instant, there was a commotion. How could Li Xiang let go of this opportunity? An unregistered resident. Lu Chuanwu, there will be no problems with the registered permanent residents after coming out of the orphanage, right? TSK, tisk. How pitiful. There is such person. Is it because he is not human? Hurry up. I am still waiting to go over. There were many mocking voices for a time, and there was also an urging voice coming from behind. The disturbance was even greater. An officer with a scar on the corner of his mouth noticed this scene. He strode over and asked with a cold face, "What's going on?" The soldier, "This kid's ID card doesn't work well. No such person found." The officer was puzzled. No such person found. How is this possible? He glanced at Jiang Nan and then at his ID card. There was no problem with his ID card, but then he seemed to remember something. He took another machine, which was mainly used by the military. Then he used Jiang Nan ID card again. Beep beep beep. Identity file top secret. Official positions below senior officer rank are forbidden to check. The electronic announcer girl resounded through the entire venue. Hiss. The sound of people sucking in cold air could not help but ring out in the field. The way they looked at Jiang Nan changed. What was going on? His ID can only be read with a machine dedicated to the military. Moreover, it was encrypted. Even those below senior officer rank have no qualifications to check. My God! What does this mean? This means that only a few people in China can check Jiang Nan's information. No one here was qualified. Chapter 50. Report to the teacher. Jiang Nan cheating. You are listening at novel full.audio. The officer's expression changed greatly, and he could not help but break out in cold sweat. With this level of encryption, only those special forces have this authority. And the young man in front of him. He could not help but stand at attention and salute Jiang Nan. He said with a solemn face, "Have a safe journey. Let them pass." The 3 soldiers who pointed their guns at Jiang Nan hurriedly put down their guns. They also saluted at Jiang Nan. The place was dead silent and even the sound of a pin falling to the ground could be heard. The people who had been urging them earlier did not dare to speak any more. Who knew what Jiang Nan's background was? Li Xiang and the others were even more stifled to the point of being unable to speak. This feeling of punching the air was simply unbearable. Tang Qianya's pretty face was full of astonishment and Wu Liang was also stunned for a moment. Many students even recalled the scene of Jiang Nan being taken away by the Night Legion Army. Could it really have something to do with Night Legion Army? Jiang Nan silently withdrew his ID card. He cursed silently in his heart. stupid bobcat. Why did you turn me into an unregistered resident? I almost die here. However, since the spirit ruins examination was so strict, Jiang Nan felt a lot more at ease. The white shark people shouldn't be able to enter. Just like that, a total of 1,500 participants from the 3 schools passed through the entrance of the spirit ruins. The moment Jiang Nan stepped through the spirit ruins entrance, a dense spatial fluctuation came. This feeling was very familiar. Usually, teleportation also had this kind of feeling. Then, his eyes suddenly lit up. What entered his vision was a lush and verdant forest. The mountain range stretched endlessly, and it was vast and boundless. There was a lot of snow on the mountain peaks. From time to time, muffled roars of beasts could be heard from the forest. It was like the feeling that he had come to another world. The army had a camp at the entrance, and many wooden houses were built. The spirit ruins had armies stationed there all year round, and there were even safety zones everywhere. As soon as they entered, the students divided into 3 different directions in the form of a small team. They could choose to travel in 3 different directions. The upper and lower path has a low level of spirit beasts and a relatively high safety factor. And the path opened up in the middle has many spirit beasts at a high level. The risk factor has also increased dramatically. However, most of the students headed straight for the middle path. There were not many spirit beasts along the way. Naturally, it was first come, first served. It was essential to take the lead. There were many drones above, which were used to broadcast the scenes in the spirit ruins. It sent the image back to the huge screen of the hotel to observe the situation of each team. When Jiang Nan and the others had just entered, 3 military vehicles had arrived outside the hotel, and a group of people in Night Legion Army's clothes had come down. The school could only obey the command and let them control the surveillance system entirely. At the same time, there was also a live broadcast of the competition on the school's official website. After all, the school also needed to make money, and at the same time, it could also play a promotional role. At this moment, Jiang City First High School's official website was broadcasting, and the number of people watching online in the room had already reached 100,000. The barrage directly flew up. Haha! I came to see me, Nan Shen. What a coincidence. Me too. Where is he? That handsome short-haired guy over there. Can't you even find him? It's obvious that you aren't really a fan. He is really handsome without any shortcoming. I envy the girl who teamed up with him. Looking at the number of people in the broadcast room, the principal was overjoyed. Jiang Nan was like a popular idol. At the same time, Zhong Yingxue and Xia Yao were also watching the broadcast at home. Coke, potato chips, and so on have been arranged. Xia Yao, my god. Xiao Nan has so many female fans. There's a lot of them watching the live streaming channels are just here to see him. Zhong Yingxue smiled, the 2 of us are also the same. Xia Yao smirked, he said he wanted to take the first place. I want to see what he will do. The scene turned back to the spirit ruin. About 1,000 students in the field rushed in, and the remaining 500 hesitated to go. Those strong teams naturally went to the middle road. Tang Qinya looked excited, Nan Shen. Which one should we walk to? Jiang Nan shook his head, us. We won't. Tang Qinya, Not leaving. Stay here until the end. You guessed it right. Really hammered. Jiang Nan was indeed here to travel. She then turned to Wu Yang for help. Wu Yang, N. Let's not walk. Tang Qinya, From Tang Qinya's resentment points plus 333. Jiang Nan smiled brightly, how slow. As he spoke, he snapped his fingers. The dimensional space door opened to its maximum. Wu Yang turned around and walked in. Broom. 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 along with the sound of an engine roaring. The headlights were turned on. In front of Tang Chinya's shocked eyes, a heavily modified Ford Raptor pickup truck was driven out. Tang Chinya, Mom, there seems to be something strange in here. Jiang Nan got in the car. Let's drive. Let's go. Get in the car. Until Tang Chinya sat in the back row, her mind was in a daze. Jiang Nan brought the car in. What kind of magical operation was this? People use their legs to travel. Then you drive. No wonder you were not in a hurry. The students who were still at the entrance saw that Jiang Nan's team had actually brought their cars in. They almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Were you serious? Cheating. Jiang Nan took out a loudspeaker from the car. Middle road. Hurry up and get in the car. 1,000 per seat. The seats are limited. It will never come again, so opportunity can't be missed. Just get off wherever you wanted to go. It will let you take the lead. You can also preserve your strength. The students were all going crazy. He was F*King doing business. 1,000. It wasn't expensive. A minute later, Wu Yang stepped on the accelerator to the limit. Black smoke rose from the exhaust of the Raptors, and the wheels flung the mud 7 or 8 meters away. It roared as it advanced towards the middle path, and it could be said that they were moving as fast as lightning. There were 12 people in the cargo box. Jiang Nan sat in the front passenger seat and counted the money, smiling brilliantly. The students who were still in the same place were dumbfounded. What the hell was this? There was a car in the spirit ruins. Their mobility would be greatly enhanced. It was a significant advantage. Someone immediately reported it to the drone. Teacher. Jiang Nan cheated. Yeah, he cheated. How can he drive? It's not fair. He is cheating. Even the teacher and the staff were speechless. However, they still said, Jiang Nan did not violate the rules. You can also drive if you want. Student. Yes indeed, they can drive too. But where the F***ck they could get a car. The teacher's meaning was straightforward. It was his ability to bring the car in. If you have the ability, then bring one too. At the same time, the live broadcast comments section in the outside world exploded. Damn. Nan Shen is too showy. He drives a car and charges a fee. A real businessman. Haha. This is too much. Damn, he even brings a loudspeaker. The space system is so awesome. Nan Shen is Nan Shen. You will never know what he will do next. The comments were endless, and Zhong Yingxue and Xia Yao laughed on the bed. They were laughing so hard that tears came out. That was really so incredible. Xiao Nan is too bad. Haha. Zhong Yingxue covered her face, holding back her laughter as her shoulders trembled.